Hi, I'm Ken Brown, and welcome to this edition of Success Tips. This is our bi-weekly teaching that one of our master trainers will be coming and bringing to you in between events for Jackie, Carmen, or Dr. April Brown, or myself will come to you bringing some insight to keep you moving forward between all of our events and all the other activities going on, is to continue to push you further towards achieving your goals. And today I have the privilege of talking to you about something. I'm going to read it to you. It says, Ken, give us the one thing to lead to explosive growth. So the one thing, now out of all the things they could do, narrow it down to one, Ken, so you don't keep us here all night. And give us, that's the kind of way I take it. Although I will tell you, this one thing is a superpower when you really, really get it as part of your habit and making sure that you're achieving something. This one thing can bring more growth than about anything else you could possibly do. I could think about 4 or 5 points, but this is the one that sticks with me. And the word is focus. It is focus. So when you think about getting a job done, in this day and age, it can require an intense amount of focus if you have timelines or deadlines. So that if you want explosive growth, meaning it's going to happen quickly, it's going to happen dramatically, it requires your undivided attention, your focus. Because let me give you the definition of focus. Focus is concentrating your attention and mental resources on a particular task or goal while minimizing or eliminating distractions. Now I want to pause there for a moment. If all of us could do that every day with everything that we're taking on, we would be the most productive person on the face of the earth. Because guess what all of us have? Distractions! We all have so many of them. And those distractions take us away from the very thing that we're trying to accomplish. And a lot of times it can be getting off track and getting ourselves looking at something. And by the way, I find myself, I'm basically going to be preaching to myself today. Because here's why. I get guilty of it. I go on to look, in April, my beloved wife, Dr. Brown, she'll look and say, sweetheart, get off your phone. Because I'll go into it and I'll go in to look for one thing and I see something that interests me and there goes down that rabbit trail. We gotta stop that. Why? Because it takes our attention off the thing that's in front of us. And by the way, this isn't just about explosive growth in your business. This is about explosiveness in relationships. Ken Brown, you didn't take us there. Oh, yes, I am. Here's why. Because you need to give them the attention in front of you. I've learned this so much in my life, the 5 years, more than I have any other time in my life with my beloved wife or with whoever is in front of me. But it's primarily come from her so that her and I can have the closeness and the connection that we want that goes far deeper than just the physical, emotional, physical, spiritual, all those things, right? But it really comes back to giving attention to the thing that is in front of you that you are focused on. It's that simple, but yet it's that complex. So we have to focus on, when I tell you to focus, that requires something of you. That requires you to put away from the distractions. April and I call them intruders. Things that come in and take us away from what we want to accomplish in our life, whether it's in a day, whether it's in our work, whether it's in our marriage, whatever it is, something that's pressing in, that's taking us off focus from the things that we should be doing. And so today I'm going to invite you to start limiting those distractions so that you can have the most explosive growth, the most explosive relationships in the most positive way, by the way. We don't want explosive growth, explosive relationships in the wrong way, obviously. We want them to flourish. And when we give something our attention, that makes someone feel valuable. By the way, when we give our attention to our business, we're actually allowing our energy and our focus and our resources to go towards that, and it creates its own energy. It's almost like when you get a tornado, this powerful force that focuses all of its energy on Earth and it's going down this path, it starts creating a vortex around it that sucks everything into it. Think about yourself coming into something with such focus that you bring that ferocity, that force with you that you're bringing, that you're actually creating energy around it, and you're pulling things in. You're pulling focus in. You're pulling other people into what you're doing. Because, my friends, when you focus, it starts creating a vision for other people. Wow, look at what's going on over there. Look how quickly this is coming together. And as you start building focus as a habit, it can change your life. It will absolutely change your life. I want to add another aspect to this as well. Focus without energy behind it. It's like reading a good book and then putting it down. It's just something that you read, that you observed, that you participated in, but it didn't do anything necessarily to change you. When you use focus with applied energy behind it, meaning that you're getting action. So focus with action creates the unstoppable, unbelievable, explosive growth that you want. And when you do this consistently, every day bringing it, and there's going to be days you're going to be challenged. Why? Because I know this firsthand. You know this firsthand. You're going to have your kids, you're going to have your coworkers, you're going to have your mom, your dad, your aunts, your uncles, whatever it is, people distracting you from the very thing you're trying to do. More focus, more action, limiting distractions, right? Being respectful about it. Making sure that you're valuing yourself. Yes, I'm saying that. I'm going right after you. Who don't value yourself and want everybody, you try to please everyone else instead of focusing on your task first. Put your own oxygen mask on, just like they tell you on the plane. Don't go trying to put it on everybody else and you fall over dead, right? Because you didn't put your oxygen mask on. Put yours on first. Take care of what you're doing and watch what starts happening around you. I want you to listen to this. Taking action combined with focus. Taking deliberate, purposeful steps towards achieving the goals you're focused on happens faster, more accurately, with better quality than those that become distracted throughout the action steps trying to achieve their goal. I want you to think about that. You want to do things better, faster, things that people would say, well, you can't do that. In fact, this reminds me of something. Just a few weeks ago, April 9, some friends from here went to Waco. And we spent a day really going through everything that this show is called Fixer Upper. We went through everything Fixer Upper. I mean, we went to the house that they fixed up, numerous houses. We went inside one, got to see all that. But there was something along the tour that we saw that was this Alico building. And it's in downtown Waco. It's this huge, it's a 22-story skyscraper. And this building was built in the early 1900s. And the story goes about this building is it was built in actually a little less than a year. And when they first were building it, there was no skyscraper west of the Mississippi at that time. One was being built in Dallas, but nothing to this magnitude. And so they were working very diligently to get this building done. And they said, it's going to take them years to get this done. And the architect challenged them. And he said, we'll have this building done within a year. And they go, how is that even possible? He said, because every day we're going to focus on the one thing that needs to be done that day and make sure we have the resources to accomplish it. Wham. We can just drop the mic and go home right there. So when you get up tomorrow to focus on what you're doing, I want you to make sure before you go to bed that you have the resources available to do that task the next day. Think about me coming in the studio and wanting to come and visit with you, but I don't have the camera, I don't have things set up, Chris doesn't have my mic ready, nothing's ready. Well, that's not going to happen. So I have to make sure I have the resources ready to go when I get here. Then I'm going to make sure I'm prepared for that. I'm going to make sure I'm bringing my focus and attention to it to make sure that we're bringing our best to you every time that we get on the stage. That requires something of me. That requires focus and action. I want you to have unbelievably explosive success in your relationships, in your business, in your spiritual life. I want you to have amazing results across your entire life in every crevice and corner that you have. And that comes with focus and action. So thank you for joining us for this edition of Success Tips. And I look forward to seeing you at a First Steps to Success very soon. Thank you for joining and have a good evening.